Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen, Lavender Clothesline. If you haven't figured that by now, welcome. If you're new to my channel, I am a full-time reseller on eBay and also on Facebook Marketplace. Now on Facebook Marketplace, I save that platform for the big items I don't want to ship. So I am not shipping on Facebook Marketplace. I save those kind of things for eBay, and I have been selling just about 8 years now. So today I am getting on the road, and truth be told, I have no idea where I'm going to wind up, where I'm going. Now I'll probably hit a Goodwill or two, but yard sale season has started and it is Thursday. So quite often I find great sales on Thursday, so we might do a little bit of that, try to bring you along with me. Now today I'm probably going to be a little bit more relaxed about it, probably just film on my camera and not do the whole GoPro chip battery thing. I'll just turn on my phone and try to capture what I'm up to. Sales have been good today and yesterday and the day before, a little bit slow, which is good for me. Sometimes that flow is too quick of a pace and I would get burnout if it didn't slow down. So what I do is I price my items a little bit on the high side and run sales. And then if I want to slow things down, I just lower the sale or take the sale off. That way, as one person, I am not always in that grind because I am not about the grind. But today, gorgeous day here in Pennsylvania. Let's hit the road. Let's see what we can find to flip for a profit. So first we are starting out in the Goodwill in Mount Joy. This is the little pop-up Goodwill that I talked about on Instagram, where the Elizabethtown Goodwill is under renovation. So they made a pop-up right in my bank parking lot. You couldn't love that more. So I always start out in home goods. Now this is a small store, and so far I have found some pretty good things. There I was looking at a Homeco figurine, and the birds had some damage and I would not have picked that up. I thought that was cool, a roll-up cube storage system, but I didn't take time to look that up. So today I am looking for high profit items because right now my store is really growing. I did get to just about 4,000 items in my store before COVID, and then through the COVID shutdown I was able to maintain my inventory, but I really didn't grow. So as soon as the stores opened back up, I was on it picking up all kinds of things. So as I've said plenty of times before, clear glass is not my favorite, but with learning about certain pieces, I have started looking more closely at the clear glass. I haven't found anything spectacular yet, but I'm learning. I thought this moo cup was pretty cool. If there would have been 2 or 3, I probably would have taken those. Here's just the typical Starbucks cup. I think that mug came in a gift pack. The Starbucks cups I do look for are the You Are Here, I think it's called, something like that, the ones with destinations or locations on them. I loved this, I'm going to call that a soap dish. I know it's probably a candy dish. This pedestal, I'm going to call it mercury glass. So I am going to think about that for a while. Now while those types of dishes don't bring a high dollar amount, I do pick up dishes that can have multiple purposes. So not only in my opinion could that be a candy dish, but I would put soap dish or trinket dish in the keywords. So even in this small Goodwill, they are organizing by color. Right away, I liked this little piece of pottery. Now, I know that this is not going to bring, a high dollar, but I saw that it was stamped. I did not recognize the name. I did have to put that into my phone to do a search, and I put that in my cart. So that was the third item. The first item was a little elephant figurine, and it did have damage, so I put that back. There I was putting my scrappy hand, my scrappy nails hand for a sense of size for that vase or that pitcher. That was quite large. So no matter how much I have my nails done or I do my own nails, my hands are just incredibly dry and a wreck from this job. Now this store being so small, I think they are putting all Christmas out. They're putting out anything that they receive. So I thought this dish was quite good. I would normally pick that up for Christmas, but I wasn't feeling it to pick it up this much at a time, only being in April. But I do pick up seasonal year round. And now we are on to, I don't know, is this the multicolored aisle? This was just a plastic tray. But I kind of liked this real 90s look with the ginger jars and the cat and the floral print. So I put that in my cart and I will probably take that. Okay, right away I recognized that this is, a student piece or a craft piece. But guys, I thought that was very good. So this was catching my interest because the material that it was made out of didn't seem to be the normal ceramics class material. It seemed more like a clay. So I wasn't sure if this was like a home kit that somebody made. And I did not wind up picking this up, but now looking back at it, I almost think I should have. I thought this would be great in a garden. Now I don't know that the paint was waterproof. You'd have to seal this. But I'm kind of sorry I didn't pick that one up. I really liked the way this looked, even though I wouldn't necessarily decorate with it. Sometimes it's just, spur of the moment, on the spot, trying to figure out what's what and what you're going to pick up. Okay, that trash can was plastic. Now this Goodwill being small, I feel that the donation quality is not what the bigger Goodwill has. So many of you know most of my videos are when I'm at the Route 30 in Lancaster Goodwill, which I will probably visit there after here. Once I'm out and I'm thrifting, I do put in quite a few hours. So on this day, I did run to the bank and do a few errands, and then I plugged myself into thrifting. And I'm going to film at the big Goodwill too. So lots of Goodwill footage today. I have to say I've gotten into looking at candles and smelling candles. Anything that is not burnt, that's in new condition, I do look at. I do not sell a lot of scented candles. That would be for my own home use. And they were kind of small. So if they would have been bigger, I would have picked those up for my own house. I love burning candles. Now we are on to the brown or the wood aisle. So like I said, I think I've been to this new pop-up store probably only a handful of times, and while I am finding things not as good as I would hope, I think electronics has to be the number one thing I am not picking up. I did pick it up there for a while, a couple of years back, and the whole testing and cleaning and the buyer getting it and then saying something doesn't work or it broke, yeah, I got over that niche very quickly. So shout out to you guys who are doing a lot of electronics. Just amazing. I'd much rather pick up a beautiful tchotchke and clean it and photograph it and be done. You still have to pack it, rather than all of the testing. But I will look at calculators, adding machines. I do have to run comps on every one. I don't keep this knowledge, this database in my brain. I have no brain cells left. But I will look at different, adding machines, cash registers, calculators. And here I'm showing that there's no paper in that. So in order to test that, you would need to buy rolls of that register tape. Many electronics that I find do not have the proper cords, so that's another thing to take into consideration if you're thinking of selling electronics. Okay, here I'm finding Pittsburgh Company, a torque wrench. Lately, I'm all about tools. And yeah, I don't know much other than like hammers, screwdrivers, needle nose pliers. It's really bad, but I'm very attracted to hand tools. Now with that torque wrench, I did run a comp on that. And they do sell, but the sell-through rate was very low. So I really didn't feel like picking that up. And I have to say I'm looking more at books because of the whole Dr. Seuss thing, and generally I always look for Bibles and interesting older books. Here I'm looking at a basket. Now I've shared this before, that diamond pattern is called Eye of God, and this is a kidney-shaped basket or a bottom basket. I've heard this called a lot of things because people feel it looks like the human bottom. And while I did like the basket, I felt that the quality of the grass or the wicker was very cheap. So I do put that back. When I look for baskets, the first thing I look for is very well-made construction and very high-end material, meaning that the wicker or the woven material is of very good quality. Now, while I have found a few pieces of clothing in this store, again, this is Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, I'm finding more shoes in this store. So mostly they are pricing all of their shoes for the $7.47. And I love that because a lot of the bigger Goodwills start at $7.47 and then they go up to, I think I've seen as high as $40. So I don't look at every piece of clothing piece by piece, but I do run my eye to see if there's anything cashmere, silk, beautiful print. But mostly I'm in this department for the shoes. I think that last pair might have been Merrell's. I didn't catch it. And even with Merrell's, I'm pretty choosy about what I'm picking up. Here's LL Bean, a loafer. And I liked those, but they were very small and narrow. American Eagle, but those are sold at Payless or were sold at Payless. So if you're new to shoes, you have to be careful that the brand is the brand itself and not a collaboration with another store. Anything tie-dye catches my eye. I always see if it is a band t-shirt or a vintage single-stitch t-shirt. Very Voltaire. I've never heard of that brand before. Those were fake leather, faux leather, vegan leather, all those names, and not well made. Here I'm feeling to see if these are leather. Now, it's not like I never pick up a synthetic material boot. I do. Two lips too. But a lot of times if I feel the boot and I feel that it's a synthetic, I don't even bother looking at the brand, but sometimes I will. Kind of liked that shirt, but that was Bass & Company. So you always have to make sure that the shirts that you're looking at are not shirts put out by a chain store. Not to say that they wouldn't sell. I mean, Nike shirts sell, but it's always good to know what you have, what you're looking at, as best as you can. This jacket was interesting to me. At first I thought it was a vintage Tommy Hilfiger. So I wanted to show that on the camera, and I wound up putting that back. See how I shop here? Now there are times I go piece by piece, but at this level I don't have the time to look at every single item, because if you're hoping to get, say, 200 pieces in a shopping trip, you don't have time to look at every single piece in every store. I thought that blazer was very good, but for some reason I think I'm sitting on quite a few blazers right now, so it would have to be something spectacular. The way that I organize my bins in my basement for my eBay inventory, I organize, like I've shown before, by the type of item. So if I'm running low on something, say jackets or jeans, it's very easy for me to tell that from a quick glance. I just have to look at a bin and see that that bin is getting low, and then I know to pick up that type of item. Okay, so in today's video, we're just going right on to store number 2. what in the world is this? Now this is the big Goodwill. I always call it the big Goodwill, Lancaster, Route 30, right near the outlets. And they have gotten a donation, I'm guessing this is Target, of headbands. And I filmed this just to show you the craziness, thousands of headbands. And no, I did not run a comp because I can't even imagine those would bring good profit. Okay, but here is the first find of the day. Beautiful, sweet little sugar and creamer. I don't remember what that said. I think it said Germany on the bottom. I don't even care what brand this is. Just pulling my cart over to the side so somebody can get past. And those go right in the cart. Now once again, the store was not so crowded when I got there, and with a very short amount of time, the store was packed. So this store is just well worth the trip. And I share that information with you guys. Is it because of me only that are bringing this amount of people here? I don't think so. But am I adding to it? Absolutely. And I will always share it with you guys. I am not of the mindset that I really want to hide much information. Now, there are a few places I do shop that have very limited inventory, and the inventory is fire. So I don't share that because I want that to be able to stay that way. But this store, if you're a reseller and you're in the central Pennsylvania area, you do want to come to this store. So there is a shameless commercial for this store. Love this store. Okay, we are on to the white aisle. And I'm sure if you watch a lot of the YouTubers that are in Pennsylvania, I'm sure they are all filming at this store. Okay, that was Longaberger pottery. And should I have comped that? Maybe. But for some reason, I was not feeling that. I was trying to remember if the pottery does really well. And to be truthful, I have sold so many baskets and not so much of the pottery. Okay, this plate was beautiful. I loved that pattern. That is called something. I forget what the technique is called. And I put it back. Today, I think in my mind, I was really zeroing in on items that would bring a high profit or things that had pigs on them. Fat can. Does it get any better than that? And I say absolutely yes to things like that. What did that say? Bandwagon? I didn't even care what brand that was. That is going right in my cart. Today I have the small cart, so a little bit harder than when I have the big one. I know you guys all want to talk about how I carry these big handbags, and you say, Karen, get a fanny pack. I own fanny packs. If you looked at my handbag right now, if you looked inside, you would be shocked at the amount of stuff I need to carry. Now you have to remember I have all of my camera equipment in there, usually, batteries, extra chips, extra mounts, whether I'm using a chest mount or whatever for the GoPro. And then I have my wallet, of course, and I have my store cards. I carry a ring of probably 20 store cards. I carry snacks, my water bottle, my keys, a lot of times my phone, just goes on and on. Okay, this is beautiful. Now right away I know this is a reproduction, and it even has certificates on the back of authenticity, which means nothing. It just means it's a copy. But I thought the frame was really good. Truthfully, I thought the painting was really good too, or the picture. So I was kind of on the fence about picking this up, taking the picture out of it, and just getting the frame and putting it on Facebook Marketplace. But at this point, I have quite a few big pieces, so I walked away from it. That could have been a mistake. Here is my thinking on frames. Frames can be very expensive if you want to frame a piece of artwork, but at the same time, you have to have the buyer having that exact size that they need. So I thought that bottle was beautiful. Just took a quick peek at it. It was an iridescent glass. At this point, I think the store is starting to get crowded. I usually get to this store when they open. I'm usually the first one in the door. This day, I think by the time I did the bank errands and the first Goodwill, I probably got there about 10:30, I'm going to say. and it wasn't too bad. But by the time I finished filming here, you could not get up and down the aisles. So if you are a shopper that does not like to go up and down the aisles and have to say, excuse me, probably not. Okay, see that little piece of pottery to the left of the kitty? Yeah, I think I missed a Roseville. Now, it could have been a reproduction or an original, but I'm just catching it in this video footage after the fact, and I'm sure somebody right behind me picked that up. Roseville is beautiful pottery. When you look for it, you want to look on the bottom that it has USA, and that the USA is as raised as the Roseville name. There are quite a few reproduction pieces of Roseville, and they were made in China. This is not Roseville. I'm just still talking about the Roseville. And the sticker would have said made in China, and it peels off. So you're just left with a piece that says Roseville. A lot of times they look spray painted. They don't look beautifully done. Some of them aren't even glazed inside. But it doesn't mean to not pick them up. You want to run a comp on all Roseville. It was like a hobo clown, which is probably not even proper to say anymore. But I don't pick up many clowns. Probably if it was by the time of Halloween, you know, if we were around Halloween and it was a very scary clown, I might. To be able to sell it, clowns don't bother me. I'm not really one that minds like creepy dolls or things like that. I just have a tendency to stay away from anything demonic, anything really violent or is not really my cup of tea. Now I'm just looking up and down quickly at the linens. I still pick up Afghans, but I look for really well-made ones. This one was just okay, and I would not pick up an Afghan that was all one color. I tend to gravitate towards the brightly colored ones. I did take a look at that one, but I wasn't feeling it. This next comforter is Waverly Home. I liked the pattern. I wasn't crazy about the pleated trim, and somebody did get that right after me. It looked like it was for their personal use. Okay, so at this point, I'm showing you my cart because I can't always film when I'm finding things. And I found a chest of flatware. Yay! Yes, please. Now, are all the pieces there? I don't take time to count. I'm looking at the volume. So I will not keep it in the box. Look at the damage to the box. I will take the flatware out. I will get rid of the box and I will sell just the flatware. And underneath the chest of flatware, I found this wonderful little skillet. This is the first time I have seen the skillet with the cover. I think a lot of times they get separated, or maybe they don't come with the lid originally, and this is Goodwill. So they have become more plentiful on eBay, in my opinion. When I used to comp these, I didn't see as many, but I think a lot of sellers have caught on to that this pan can bring good money. Now, depending on the comp, the amount of money I could stand to make, I might clean that, I might season that. But if not, I will put it as is. Here I'm just opening the chest since it's up again. This is Rogers Brothers. So this is stainless, I believe, or it could be silver plate. I think that one is stainless. It is not solid silver. Don't I wish? And at this point, I was finding quite a bit, so I had to shut the camera off. As you can see from this photo, I did find this tool thing. I didn't know what it was. It turns out it is a pipe cutter. How did I figure that out? Did I read it? Did I comp it? Nope. I asked you guys on Instagram. So thank you to everyone who responded when I said, hey guys, what is this? I appreciate you all so much. You are a wonderful community. When I don't know what I'm looking at, I can always post a picture on my Instagram account and just put it out there. And within minutes, I have the answer almost always to what I'm looking at. And for $2.99, yes, I picked this up. I figured I would even before I found out what it is, but this is a pipe cutter. And I will probably flip this on Facebook Marketplace, or I might put this on eBay and do local pickup or flat rate box. I'm thinking this might fit in a medium flat rate. I have to check on this because it's smaller but very heavy. So that is a good opportunity to use the flat rate boxes. And if you are looking at my cart, I did find a tray. I believe the gold tray you're seeing here is brass, and it is Opal House for $7. I wound up putting that back. And I did find a few other things. So I will give you a little screenshot of what items I picked up, because I already put this on Instagram, and these are the items we're going to be talking about in the next haul, which should be on Wednesday. Okay guys, so this is what the trunk looks like. It is about 3:30. I didn't realize it'd be out so long, but good stuff coming out. So stay tuned for a haul of all things crazy and amazing: pottery, shoes, clothing, household goods, and antiques. Thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.